you are a really famous celebrity doctor. I know there's like people that you can't even mention. I know who they are, by the way, but
Yeah.
people really famous, like you'll like you guys will pee in your pants if I tell you who this guy treats.
Because you don't want to go to a doctor who just says, so what do you want? We're like, well, I don't know. What do I need? But you also don't want to go to a doctor like, oh, well, you need this, this, and this, and this. And also, I'll give you a tip. If your doctor looks funny, you're going to probably look funny. But if you have a nose job, whenever, your nose will never grow and it'll never droop if done correctly. So you get what's called a nose for life. And that's kind of one of the really cool things about a nose job.
The better you look, the better you feel, and the better results you produce. So, talk about. Let's start with Botox.
Yeah,
because I know you're a face doctor.
Yes.
You don't play with boobs.
Nope, I don't. Not at work.
Hey guys, welcome to Driven Channel, and I'm here with Dr. Karimi. So Dr. Karimi is somebody really, somebody that has blessed me in looking better. You know, like I attribute like a lot of my good looks to this guy right here. And you know what? Like before I want you to introduce yourself to all my audience that's watching this, because you are a really famous celebrity doctor. I know there's like people that you can't even mention. I know who they are, by the way, but people really famous, like you guys will pee in your pants if I tell you who this guy treats. However, one of the things that really that I loved about you is that when I went into your office for the first time, because I was referred by somebody special, you broke everything down for me. So you always had all the answers. I asked you hey, Dr. Karimi, so if I get Botox, what are the cons? What are the pros? You not only gave me the cons and pros, but you explained to me why it's important for somebody at a young age to start getting it. And I'm like, really? And I grew up hearing Botox is bad, fillers are bad, they're gonna cause this and this and that. But I always like to listen to the experts. I know you're the expert in this. And so you guys stay tuned. This is gonna be a lot of information, especially for ladies, but even guys, and I'll share everything. I want to be vulnerable, and I want to share just everything, like a lot of transparency here. I'll tell you everything I've done, not a lot, but I'll tell you what I've done, and I'll have Dr. Karimi explain it. But for people that are watching this and they don't know who you are, they're like wondering, like, well, this is a celebrity surgeon. Who is Dr. Karimi, and where did you get started into this field?
Sure. So Albert, thank you so much for having me over here. I'm like, really excited to be here. Your podcasts are amazing, and I'm like super stoked to be here. So I'm Dr. Kian Karimi. I'm a double board certified head and neck facial plastic surgeon. I practice in Brentwood in West Los Angeles, and have the privilege of having amazing clients like Albert, who always become friends. That's kind of like that's kind of how it is, because it's a partnership. People come in and they have certain goals. They want to look better, they want to look less tired, they want to look refreshed, or they want to prevent things from happening. Yeah. And I think it's amazing that you're being transparent about this, because one of the challenges in my field and in aesthetics is that people are hush hush about it, and especially like celebrities. So I've seen some of my own patients that are celebrities go on television and say, I've never had anything done, which I know is total bullshit, because I just treated them the week before. Yeah. But that's cool. Like, everybody has their own, their own thing. And destigmatizing aesthetics is, I think, key, because it allows everybody access. Yeah. It's like, why do we look at somebody on television or on film and say, how do they look so good? Were they just genetically better than us? Were they just blessed with these genes? Well, yes, that's part of it. But the other part is that they're getting treatments. Some of those are non-surgical and some of those are surgical. And so I think it's really amazing that we're doing this, kind of airing out the laundry and talking about things that we can do to stay looking refreshed. That's the key word. Yes, young is great, but looking refreshed and looking vibrant so you can kick ass in whatever field you're in, feel great about yourself when you look in the mirror every day, and then others will also perceive you as vibrant, virile, and strong.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And like sometimes when I wake, because I don't sleep a lot, you know that.
Yeah.
So I don't sleep a lot, and like right now the sun's hitting me on this side,
Yeah.
and I'm kind of like going like that, but you can't even see the wrinkles, and it's obviously because what you've done, it's helped me a lot. But I remember sometimes like when I know it's time to see Dr. Karimi is when I'm driving and I'm doing my videos in the mornings and I'm doing my stories, and then I have a convertible, so when I open it and it's the daylight's coming out. And then I do the videos, and then my mom sends me like a text. You look tired. like you're not sleeping enough. You gotta tone it down. And I'm like, okay, because she sees my eye bags.
Yeah.
And then when we have so many parties and events, and like I'm drinking too much, and we're just like not sleeping, and it gets wild.
Yeah.
And then my mom sees me because she'll stay over sometimes to take care of the girls,
Right.
and then she'll tell me like, You look rested, and I'm like, like what have you been doing? And I'm like, well, I've been drinking a lot, I haven't been sleeping, and I just been, like just being bad and being in the sun all day.
Yeah.
And then it's like crazy how like how the better you look, the better you feel, and the better results you produce. So. Talk about. Let's start with Botox.
Yeah,
because I know you're a face doctor.
Yes.
You don't play with boobs.
No, I don't. Not at work. So the knife stops here. Yeah, the knife stops here for me. The neck.
That's the only bad
part. So I'm specialized in the face. I only do the face.
Yeah.
I operate on the face. So I do nose jobs. I do facelifts. I do eyelids. I do the whole thing. But I do a lot of non-surgical things, Botox, fillers, thread lifts, lasers, and having that balance is actually really key because some people need a little of this, a little of that.
Yeah.
But talking about Botox, so everybody knows Botox, right? And there's a lot of misconceptions about Botox. And Botox has been around for over 30 years. It's got a lot of different uses in medicine, but the beauty use of it is probably its most notorious. So Botox is key because it does a couple things. It will not only soften wrinkles that you have. So if you look pissed off or, RBF, you know what RBF is? Resting bitch face.
Oh. Oh, you knew that.
So everybody knows what RBF is. So if you have RBF.
So now that you say that, I know a lot of people that have that face.
That's right. That's right. So, I mean, it's a little bit vulgar, but, it kind of communicates that like somebody looks pissed off all the time, even at rest, which is kind of like, so someone, if you look pissed off at rest, when I approach you, whether it be as a friend or as a professional, I'm going to approach you differently than if you look relaxed or if you look nice.
Yeah.
And so that's where Botox is the key because it helps you put on your best face, your best fresh face. And it kind of gives you a little bit of a poker face too. I have some professional poker players, and I can't say who, and I don't even know if the Federation allows this, but they get so much Botox in their faces. Like, talk about poker face, like they don't move. And so most people don't want that degree of Botox. That's my poker face special. But, people are just looking like, to soften the lines. I haven't been able to look pissed off in about 15 years. So that's the key, one of the keys.
You ever fight with your wife?
I do, but I don't look mad. Yeah, I mean, we fight, but
I think still needs like some work done.
It doesn't actually make you less pissed off, but it makes you look less pissed off. So the fights don't escalate like they used to. So, anyways, it's really key, and also prevention of wrinkle, because once those wrinkles set in, once they're etched, as we call them in medicine, they're etched. Then you're dealing with lasers, you're dealing with surgery. Etched means like it's stuck, like the line is there. So if you look at someone that's been like frowning.
Do I have any etched?
You don't have any etched. We caught you right on time. We saved you right before any of those lines got etched. So
what do you guys think? Do you guys think I'm etched?
So none of those lines are permanent. Basically, permanent lines.
Is etched because I have like a family member. I'm not gonna say who, but hi Italia. I'm not gonna say who, but I think that's what you mean by etched. Yeah. He has like wrinkles,
full, yes,
that are permanent. So deep that like it's almost like a little river, like
exactly,
like and it almost like like ET, like a raisin.
Yeah,
is that what etched means?
That's what it means. That's exactly what it means. So they're permanent, deep wrinkles that are not going to go.
How does
away
that happen though? Because some people just get super wrinkly, and some people
it happens because they didn't do Botox. That's it.
And also genes, right? Because some people wrinkle more than others.
Genes, and if you're super skinny, if you don't have any fat, if you're like lose too much weight, so a lot of sun exposure, if you smoke cigarettes, like all those types of things are going to give you wrinkles.
Yeah. So when you're etched, you're pretty much fucked.
Pretty much.
You can't fix that?
No, you can't fix that. But now we're talking about lasers, we're talking about facelifts and surgical type of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's far better to get a few injections twice a year or 3 times a year than to have to undergo more extensive surgeries. So
speaking of that, should you wait to get Botox? Because for example, I have some young people here. My girl here is really young.
Yeah.
And I'm sure she's curious about Botox and fillers. She's like, I'm young, I don't need it yet.
Yeah.
Is it true that you have to wait till you start getting really wrinkly to get it, or should you start younger? What's the whole myth about that?
You want to start in your early 20s. So you do what's called baby Botox. So you don't get like the full dose like as somebody older than might get, but early 20s is the key because that's where you prevent it. That's where you catch it. And so if you do it early 20s, you only have to do it once, maybe twice a year, but you're not going to get those permanent lines. And so that's where my wife started. She started at 21. And I was like feeling a little sketchy. I was like, you sure you want to start this already? Because I was, a few years older.
So Italia's not ready at 4.
At 4, no. Probably a little young at 4. But, once they're an adult, over 18, then at that point, it's kind of like that's the time.
So, like, for example, the Kardashians, like I see a lot of girls, like all girls want to look like the Kardashians now.
Right.
And I see like some ugly girls and they do a bunch of injections and then all of a sudden they look like Kardashian.
Right.
Yeah. Is like, and I think that's not just Botox, right? That's more like fillers.
Fillers, yeah.
Like how do you get an ugly girl to look like Kim, the Kardashians, but it's weird, and I know it's makeup with something else.
Albert, everyone is beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
a money problem.
Some people are just less beautiful. So you're absolutely right. So the Kardashians have actually done us in aesthetics a huge favor because they have kind of commoditized. They've said, look, anybody can look like this. Now they're naturally good-looking people.
Yeah.
But the whole Kardashian look that you're talking about is the V. So over-exaggerated cheeks, a thin kind of like tapered chin. This is of course for the girls.
Yeah.
And not having any depression of the temple. So it almost looks like the alien emoji a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, big eyes.
But sexy.
Big, but sexy. A sexy alien emoji. Okay. So it's like big eyes, big cheeks, little chin. So it's that look, right? It's that alien look. But that's where fillers can do that, because if somebody is hollow here, so let me just give you a little tip and secret. Attractiveness of the face, whether you're man or woman, has to do mainly with your facial skeleton. Not a lot of people know that. What the hell does that mean?
It's probably like the chin thing they did, but we'll talk about that after. Yeah.
Your cheekbones, your nose, your forehead, because everything else, this sounds kind of crazy, is just draped on bone. All of our muscle, our fat, everything is just laying on a bony framework. So if you have a crappy bony framework, you don't have a great developed chin, you're going to have jowls in your 20s. If you have like a really underdeveloped mid-face or cheek, you're going to have nasolabial folds. You're going to have smile lines early on. It's not going to look attractive. And so strong facial skeleton, and you actually have a great facial skeleton. I don't mean to like air out your facial skeleton anatomy here, but you have a great facial skeleton. So the little things that we've done have gone a long way, because I don't have to.
Which we'll talk about in a bit.
I don't have to like rebuild from scratch. I can enhance.
Yeah.
And so there's a difference between creating beauty and enhancing beauty. Some people need beauty created.
What about Sil?
Sil?
Yeah, like her structure.
I mean, Sil for a woman has a great structure. So, and again, that's why, again, Sil doesn't need a lot to accomplish what she wants to accomplish. So facial
structure.
I'm definitely not going there. Screw that. I would say Sil, no matter what's true, because I know what's good for me.
I'm just kidding. But like for example, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes.
That like he looks like almost fake.
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo has had a lot of plastic surgery. I mean, that's been published in the news. He had his teeth done. I think he had his nose done, hair, everything. I mean, if you just look up right now, Cristiano Ronaldo before and after, you will like fall off your chair. Like Cristiano Ronaldo, like you would have seen him in the mall and be like, wow, that guy needs to see a doctor. And now he's like considered one of the most attractive men in the universe. So that's somebody that has access and somebody that has seen good doctors. Because you look at him now, you don't think that he's had work done. It's like you look at me, you don't think I've had work done. You look at you, you don't think I've work done. But work can be a couple of injections, it could be a laser, it could be something really minor, or it could be something major, like a full dental restoration or a nose job or a chin implant or whatever.
Yeah, and that's the importance of getting a good doctor, I would think, right? Because the first time I went to get Botox, I was referred by, and this, I talk about this all the time, watch the source of your advice. So, you know, old relationship, they refer me to a doctor and I go there and then they and I just said, well, I don't want no fillers, just Botox, just because I couldn't stand my lines that were coming out on my forehead. And then I tell the lady, just, you know, just Botox, that's it, just right here and right here. I'm like, okay, cool. So this place, you know, like they put the Botox and then all of a sudden, like when I'm smiling or making my normal expressions, like one side of my head, one side of my forehead is like not moving, and then the other side has like a line that's going like the Mississippi River, like that, and it goes. It's weird, like it's just weird. So whenever I was out,
I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. But
well, when I'm out in public, you know, like I know people are looking at my forehead, like why does he have just a line going like that?
Yeah.
So ever since I've like we've been with you for years now.
Yeah.
And like you said, you don't do much with us,
right?
But you do like incredible work. Like I've never had to go back for anything. Like it's always like and then it's the way you do it is so cool because we just sit down and we get, you have like an amazing customer service. You know, when people go to your office, like you have the person that greets us, they take us into a room. Then we get the pictures, they sit us down, would you like this to drink, this, and then you offer like all these things so that you don't feel like the little pokes, the pain, which we'll talk about later. But then you see the face. So you have that magic eye, and then you look at the face, and then you tell them exactly what they need.
Right.
Like it's not like somebody goes in there and tells you, I want Botox, and you tell them, wait, I don't think you need Botox here, I think you just need it here, and maybe a filler on this side. Because I was beat up and kicked by like 10 guys that jumped me, and they kicked me on this left side, and then you fixed it by putting some filler here, which and then you explained to me just how filler works. But having said that, like why is it so important to choose a doctor wisely? And is it good to go to any Botox specialist?
So everybody has gotten really excited about Botox and fillers, and a lot of doctors, nurses, physician assistants are jumping on the bandwagon because, you know, it's profitable, it's lucrative, it's a very kind of attractive part of medicine. But you can't not just anyone can pick up a needle, inject someone's face, and expect that it's going to turn out okay. So you really need to go to someone who has experience, who knows the face, and it's not just about the science part. So plastic surgery and aesthetic medicine is the perfect hybrid of art and science. So you need someone with an artistic eye, someone that can like hear people out, what their concerns are, but also make recommendations. Because you don't want to go to a doctor who just says, so what do you want? Well, like, well, I don't know. What do I need? But you also don't want to go to a doctor like, oh, you need this, this, and this, and this. And also, I'll give you a tip. If your doctor looks funny, you're going to probably look funny. So,
well, you look amazing. So I think
well, thank you. And I get a lot of stuff done. You know, like you, I get fillers, I get Botox. I've had 3 hair transplants. And so I really see the power of my field. I totally believe in it. And if I start looking wacky, just let me know.
I was telling you when you came in here, I'm like, damn, you look like a model in person. Like I don't recognize you from your you know, when you're working, uniform, you look different. So you're all covered and everything, but I know you're a professional, so you gotta make sure you look professional when you're working and do professional. But on the filler part,
Yeah.
Like what is filler? Like
Yeah.
what's that stuff that goes in?
Yep.
And does it hurt? Because I could tell people like you feel it. It feels like weird, but it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
But then you also have like all these. You have these, what is it, the smoker thing? And so that you give to your patients, and they don't, and then you don't feel the pain.
So filler is different than Botox, and some people can confuse Botox and filler. Fillers are gels. So they're gels made of something called hyaluronic acid, which is a sugar that makes up our own skin. So these companies figured out many years ago how to synthesize.
Natural?
It's natural. How to synthesize these sugars from bacteria. So that's why it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. You know, companies you may have heard of, like Allergan that makes Juvederm, or Galderma that makes Restylane. So these gels are injected to literally restore volume that's lost. They can lift cheeks, they can, you know, create chins, and this is what, you know, presumably, they're not my patients, but presumably the Kardashians have done, right, with these fillers. So fillers are great. You and I have both enjoyed them because they help with under eye circles, they help with cheeks, but if they're done right, you can't tell. Like looking at you, no one would ever guess you've done Botox and fillers. Looking at me, I don't think you would guess that I've done Botox and fillers. So the process is pretty straightforward. You kind of clean the area, ice it, and either a little needle goes in and injects the filler very precisely. But some people are freaked out. In fact, I'm pretty freaked out. You're tough. I'm way weak. Like,
really?
Yeah, I am like, if you saw me getting my injections, you would laugh. Because I have to do the nitrous gas. So nitrous gas is like going to the dentist, like laughing gas. So you smoke on the gas and it kind of like makes you like high for like a little bit, but it really makes the treatments like a lot more comfortable. And most people don't need that. Us guys are a little bit more sensitive than our female counterparts when it comes to these injections.
That's why we don't have babies.
That's why we don't have babies.
Or implants.
So
I mean, some guys get implants.
Some guys, yeah, but you know, most of my ladies, most of my girls don't need the gas. You know, we put a little numbing cream, a little ice, and like it's like nothing. But for guys or for anybody that's anxious about it, we offer CBD. So CBD under the tongue right before the procedure is really calming, and so that's really useful. Some people actually are so nervous they need like Valium or a pill, then you just don't drive.
Yeah.
The nice thing about the gas is that you can drive like 5-10 minutes later because it leaves your system. But all that being said, like you said, like usually the experience, you know, there's a little weird, it's a little creepy, especially if you're doing like under your eyes or your temples or your chin and jawline.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's fine. There's no pain afterwards, and usually no bruising.
Yeah, and we have a mutual friend, really good friend. She actually recommended me to you. She referred me to you, and she's really public, so I'm pretty sure it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'll let you okay it or mention her name. But she's a beautiful woman.
Yes.
And she's 50 something.
Yeah.
I think she just turned 50 or 50 something.
Yeah.
But she looks younger than me.
Yes.
Like she really looks like in her late 20s.
Yeah.
Mid 20s.
Well, we're talking about Carrie, and I can say that because she has posted stories, all, you know, very, very open and transparent. And that's why I love, and she was on the Maxim cover, you know, or in the Maxim magazine, like hottest people, whatever, just a couple of years ago. And I think, you know, she's 50, like you said. And that's what I really admire about her and about you and my other like prominent social public figures.
Yeah.
Is that you are sharing with other not public figures. Like, it doesn't mean like you had to get that to do what you're doing, right? Yeah. But you were informed that this is something you can do to continue looking vibrant, looking refreshed, looking just like, you know, at the top of your game.
Yeah.
And especially in, you know, for women that are like celebrities, actresses, public figures, it's really brutal for them.
Yeah.
Like, they are scrutinized. They are a lot of ageism, like, oh my God, they're looking old, or, you know, their necks and their faces and whatnot. And so now we have the ability to help people look, staying refreshed, oftentimes without surgery.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Like, my opinion is here, like Carrie, right? She's I think she just turned 51 or 50, something like that. But she looks like a 25, 26-year-old.
Right.
She's beautiful. She's a hot girl.
Right.
And so, like, if I was a woman right? I'm not a woman, but if I was a woman,
Yeah.
like, fuck, I'll pay whatever it takes to look
Right.
like Carrie when I'm 50.
Right.
And maybe you don't look like Carrie, but you'll look like a young 50-year-old.
Exactly.
So like why wouldn't you do it? Like if somebody tells me, and I'm pretty sure Carrie has like a lot of years left, right? And she'll be 70 and she'll still look good.
Of course.
So like if somebody would tell me, hey, you're gonna live 50 years and you're gonna be beautiful all those 50 years,
Right.
I would take that chance.
Right.
And I would be like, okay, I'll pay this because I want to look beautiful those 50 years. Because first, you're gonna get the hottest boyfriend or girlfriend. You're gonna get more offers. You're gonna get better. You're gonna be on covers of magazines. You're gonna get better opportunities. You're gonna make more sales. You're gonna feel more confident. You're gonna have more energy.
Totally.
Like that always helps. So why are people not getting Botox or fillers, or maybe their nose is like too big and well, how come they don't fix it? Like why is it so hard?
I honestly don't know, because I used to think it was just like a money thing, but it's not. Like, you know, women spend thousands of dollars on their hair a year sometimes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, an average Botox treatment is like $300 to $500, sometimes a little more. And if you're having to only do that twice a year and look amazing and look refreshed, there's absolutely no excuse to not do that.
Yeah.
The excuses are all the obstacles, all the misconceptions, the phobias, the things that like people don't know. Oh, Botox, that's not for me. Or I heard like, you know, it'll do X, Y, or Z. And fillers, fillers cost a little bit more. So, you know, if you're going to get some fillers, that can cost you anywhere from, you know, $600 to $3,000 or more. But the fillers last a year. So imagine you're investing yourself. You know, I go and buy a Canali suit. Why do I buy a Canali suit? Because it's tailored. It feels good. It makes me look good. And it helps me in my professional atmosphere, right?
Yeah.
So, and I see that that's value. So why would you not invest in your own face?
Yeah.
If you're investing in anything else to make yourself feel better or look better, like clothes or your hair or anything else, not investing in your face, I think, is a huge missed opportunity.
Yeah, because the face, I talk about this all the time, the face is the most important part. Like, people are going to remember your face.
Right.
So if you have an ugly face, you still have to show your ugly face, but why not make your ugly face a pretty face?
Right.
And
not just ugly, but like tired.
Yeah.
Tired or not vibrant, haggard. Because if I meet someone for the first time that I want to do business with and they look tired, I'm like, this is a tired deal.
The Kardashians never look tired.
They never look tired.
They always they just look like they're ruling the world.
And that's why they're billionaires.
I think they probably.
Thank you. Is this champagne? Yes. Could I get tequila instead?
Yeah, 1942 there.
Sorry.
You could have it, Joanna.
So that's what it's about. And actually, the Kardashians, love them or hate them, they have really shown that this is accessible. Yeah. And it's not just the wealthy. So people think only the wealthy have access to these things. Yeah. Absolutely not. If you look at the market data, so middle class, people that are in the middle class are the most common people that are doing injectables. Yeah. Not the wealthy.
Well, question. So what I want to do is maybe release like a part 1 and then a part 2, because what I'm thinking right now, I just got an idea. Yeah. And you know, and this is also like all the people that watch me, they know what I do. Yeah. Why I do it. So I think it would be a great marketing thing, Jesus, if we at we save like the last little chunk and then we video when you do the procedure on me.
Oh, nice.
I think in maybe 2 months or something, like getting closer to driven.
Yeah.
And then you'll show like what everything you do. And I'll just, I mean, I don't like watching it, but people can watch it, and then we'll add that in a second.
I love that. Thank you so much.
So we'll do that.
You got an Uber for me home too?
That's intense. But yeah, because we want to get all the throw up from you.
This is how to do it.
We want to get all the information. So
someone's driving me home.
People here, they want to know like all the real stuff. So I'll be really transparent with all of you guys. I'll share what I've done. But another good thing is, like, you know, when you have a party and you have a few too many drinks, in the morning you look like you don't look good. Yeah. And when you have the fillers under the eyes, they're like magic, dude. Like I remember like when I got Botox here, and then even when I got a little bit of filler here, I still had like the wrinkly or the baggy under eyes. It just looked bad, and I was like, I look all fresh, but then my eyes look like 80-year-old eyes.
Right.
Like what the heck? It doesn't look good. And then I remember that there's a doctor that did the under eyes and accidentally poked the eye.
Oh, shit.
And that's why it's like I think and I think it was in the news or something like that. So people saw that. But that's why I told Sil, like, you know what? I need to listen to my friend Carrie. She knows what she's doing, so just take me to her. And then I asked you about that. What's your opinion about the under eye thing? Is it dangerous, or do you need to know how to do it?
So fillers have some risks to them. Okay, so as a lot of people are doing these things, people forget that these things have risks. And some of the risks are serious. Like you said, poking the eye. Fillers, if they're injected in the wrong place, like the tissue can die. There's even been people that have gone blind from fillers. So it's not to say like you need to be scared of that, because if you go to the right place with the right hands and the right experience, the chance of that happening is not zero, but it approaches zero. It's almost like, you almost won't never happen.
Well, you're a zero.
I'm a zero. Yeah, thank God. Knock on wood and whatever. I've never had an incident like that happen when I've done fillers. Thank God. But I'm a surgeon. I know my anatomy. I use a lot of techniques and things that I teach all across the country and even internationally on how to safely inject fillers. So all that being said, back to your question about the under eye. So people are sketched out about the under eye because it's close to the eye, but it's actually one of the safer places to inject filler. The unsafe places to inject filler are the nose. So people that are getting those 5-minute nose jobs, that's like the most dangerous place.
Like some people say inject here so that you get rid of the little bump.
They get a little of the bump, right? So the 5-minute nose job, although it's popular, is literally the most dangerous area to have filler injected. So the under eye, the biggest risk of the under eye is that it's not done well and you look puffy or it doesn't look right. But the nice thing about these fillers is that they are reversible. So if you had an issue with a filler, or if it looked bad, or if you didn't like it, if you just want to get rid of it, you could literally go to your doctor, to your injector, and say, I want to get rid of it. And you can inject like an antidote. It's an enzyme, and it gets rid of it in a day. Wow. So that's actually like really empowering, because you can go and get these things done, and assuming you don't have any complications, if you don't like it, you can get it reversed.
Yeah. And I believe a lot in you pay what you get for. So what's your opinion about people that maybe they don't have the money, but I'm sure I'm sure they have the money. If they're gonna do all that work, they have the money. But people, not only do they go to cheaper doctors to get a discount and all that, nothing that I got a massive discount has ever been good.
Right.
Not even great, not good, never. But there's people that they'll drive all the way to Mexico.
Right.
Some people even fly to like Colombia or other places. Yes. And then they get like the same work that costs maybe $6,000 or $10,000 for like $1,500 or $750.
Right. So I've lectured in Mexico. I've lectured in Colombia. I speak Spanish fluently. I think you know this. And there are amazing.
Actually didn't.
Yeah, I do.
Hopefully. We never said anything about you.
That's why I was watching your podcast in Spanish last night. There are amazing.
Are you like Persian Mexican?
No, I'm just Persian. Yeah. But I had a thing for Latin girls before I'm married. I love my wife. I have no other thing for Latin girls anymore.
You did a few Latinos.
Yeah. But I took Spanish, and I actually did my major in Spanish.
I wouldn't blame you, by the way.
So, and actually that's really opened the doors to me to Mexico, to Central America, to South America. So I've lectured, and I give lectures, and I teach in all these different countries. There are amazing doctors in Mexico, in Central America, and in South America. The problem is that if you go down there for a surgery and something doesn't go perfectly right, which is sometimes the case in surgery, no matter how good your surgeon is, the follow-up is really hard. Who's going to take care of you if you need a touch-up or if you need something? So yes, you may be paying a fraction of the cost. For example, my nose jobs range from $10,000 to $15,000. You could go to the Middle East and get it for $1,500. So you're going to fly to Iran, have a doctor do your nose. It may come out great. In fact, it probably will come out great if you find the right doctor. But what if a few months later it isn't right? You're going to fly back to the Middle East? And same with Mexico, and same with Colombia. So I don't like when people say, oh, you went to South America and had a crappy job. That's actually not true. some of the best doctors in the world are in Mexico and in South America, but it's hard to know and vet who's good and who's just good at marketing, who's actually good. And the follow-up and the accountability, that's the key. That's the word, accountability. So when you come to my office, or when anyone comes to my office, I am accountable. I become not only your doctor, I become your friend, and I become your partner. Not everything I do is perfect. Do I have complications? Yes. They're rare, but I have them. But what do I do when it happens? I take care of it.
Yeah.
I take care of it. That's the difference between, and that's what you're paying for. Is basically it's like an insurance policy.
Yeah, yeah. And I like your transparency, how you're not like saying, oh no, nothing can go wrong. You're like saying like, yeah, you could actually poke it wrong or do this and that go blind.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty extreme. But one time I remember, and I think it's only happened once in, what is it, like 4.5 or 5, almost 5 years that I've known you.
Yeah.
That you poked, you made a poke, but you didn't go all the way in. And then when you poked, you said, oh no, we're gonna take it back out. We're not gonna continue right here. We're gonna look for a better spot.
Yes.
That's gonna bruise.
Yep.
And then you just stopped and you went to a different spot. And funny, it did bruise, but right away you started applying the ice and everything, and it actually didn't even bruise. Like,
you asked
it started coming out.
You're like, how did you know? You're like, how did you know it was gonna bruise? So that's where the experience comes in, and that's where, like, if I make a poke and I'm like, okay, that's gonna bruise, and there's different ways that I would know that. I don't just like go for it because I'm in a hurry or because like whatever, on to the next. That's the difference between the quality. That's why I may cost more than other places. But if you're looking just for like to get your lips done or to get whatever and you're looking for a Groupon, there are risks. And so you need to go somewhere that has experience, and whether your injector is a nurse, a physician assistant, a nurse practitioner, a doctor, a surgeon, whatever, you need to know that you're going to have access to that clinic or to that person if something goes wrong, if you have a question, because that few $100s that you saved could really cost you a lot more.
And talking about nose, because we're covering the nose, are you the best nose expert in the world?
I'm one of the best nose surgeons in the world.
Yeah.
I can say that confidently. I do 150 to 200 nose jobs a year.
Wow.
I really understand.
So if you do the math times 10, 15,000.
I'm moving in next door. I do a lot of nose jobs, and my background is actually as an ENT. So that's an ear, nose, and throat doctor who's a surgeon of the nose. So that's what makes me really like extra trained for the nose, because not only can I straighten a nose, take care of a nose, but I will make sure not only that you don't breathe worse, but a lot of times you'll breathe better.
I breathe bad.
Yeah.
Like my nose is always like clogged.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we gotta look at that. Yeah. So taking care of people's breathing issues is just as important to me as taking care of their cosmetic issues. So that's why, as a facial plastic surgeon, I feel like I'm really well trained and suited to take care of noses, and that's actually what's my favorite surgery to do.
And I think people look more pretty with nice noses.
Not only more pretty, but the nose, and everybody knows this, grows as you age. Why is that? Because the tip starts to droop, and like if you look at your mom or your tío or your tía or your abuelo, abuela, you're gonna see like a lot of these types of noses.
Is that why all old people have big noses?
Yes, because
and big ears too, huh?
And big ears, because the cartilage is growing, it's drooping, and this and that. And so, but if you have a nose job, whenever, your nose will never grow and it'll never droop if done correctly. So you get what's called a nose for life, and that's kind of one of the really cool things about a nose job.
See, I like girls that have like pretty noses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, like if you look at my Instagram on Dr. Kian, or Nose by Dr. Kian, I've got hundreds, if not thousands of nose job results on there. You won't see done looking noses. I don't do like the ski slope, the cutesy nose. I do a very natural but beautiful nose. And I've never done the same nose job on two people. It's always customized specifically for that person.
So let's say, because I have a friend.
Yeah.
And she asked me for this question.
Yeah.
Right. So if you get a nose job, and then you don't like it.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
How soon can you redo it?
So that's actually a great question. So usually the standard answer is 1 year. Why do we make people wait 1 year? because the skin has swelling in it, and the cartilage can shift up to a year or so. It can like go this way, go that way. So in general, we like for people to wait a year. Sometimes I've gone back and helped people that have had nose jobs in other places sooner than that, if it's like an edge that they can feel or something minor. But in general, it's really good to wait a full year, because you don't want to go in and like change something and then all of a sudden the skin swelling goes down or the cartilage changes and then, oh shit, like you didn't predict that to happen.
Yeah.
So a year is the standard response.
Now, for example, if I were to do my nose,
Yeah.
like, what would you do, like on my nose?
Well, first of all, you mentioned you had breathing issues. So I would do a full evaluation.
It's always like
yeah.
I don't have like a clear.
So you have a deviated septum. So you most likely have a deviated septum. If you want to figure out if you have a deviated septum, simple test. Close one nostril, breathe. Close the other nostril, breathe. You have a terrible clogged deviated septum. So
and I have also terrible allergies.
Yeah.
So I'm always like.
So having a surgery for your nose can totally address that.
Wow.
And you can actually have surgery on your nose without changing the appearance of it. Let's say you're like, I love my nose. This is the best nose. And maybe you have the best nose ever. You can get all that fixed without changing the outside.
It kind of gives me like my character, my personality.
Yeah.
But if anything, like maybe I could.
You have a great male nose. The only thing is that you're young right now. So over time, your tip is good. Let me feel your tip. Yeah, your tip support is not great. Meaning like, and you can actually tell your own tip support right now. Push on your nose. Go ahead, guys. Yeah, push on your nose. If your tip just smushes in, that means you don't have what's called good tip support. So your nose is going to grow. It's going to droop. And so that's just the fact of life. I'm sorry. At Dr. Kian. But the, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, your nose.
Yeah, the nose.
Yeah. So you can, if you have just breathing issues, don't want to change the outside of your nose, you can do that. And actually a lot of insurances will cover that, like PPO insurance.
So that'll probably be like, it'll help me out actually.
Oh my gosh. As much as you work out.
Look.
Yeah, your breathing is terrible. How have we never talked about this? I can't believe we've never talked about this. Okay, we're going to take a look. I'm going to do a full evaluation. We're going to do a CT scan. We're going to do a scope, endoscopy, and figure out.
So exactly what I would change is I would probably like I have a little tiny bump right here. I would probably like just smooth it out.
On your side.
It's different from this side than this side.
Did you ever have your nose punched?
I think I hurt my nose, when I was little. Yeah. Because this side pops out a little bit more and this side
So that's actually really easy to do, is just to like shave it down a little bit during the surgery, just to smooth it out.
And I have a little extra cartilage right here, right?
Yep. Just a touch. But that's what we call a finesse rhinoplasty. So again, if let's say we were to do your nose, fix it, help your breathing issues, externally no one would ever be able to tell you had your nose done. So that's what a good nose job is.
And I'll probably be able to have like better sex and better workouts.
Way better sex.
Because you can breathe better.
Breathe better, but better workouts, better cardio. Don't wake up with a dry mouth.
Is that why that happens?
Yeah.
Why?
Because you're not breathing through your nose at night. So when you wake up with a dry mouth, that is...
Is that also like... when you breathe from your nose, does it also make your mouth like stink more? Or?
Yeah, it does. So when you breathe through your nose, you humidify the air that you're breathing 99%. That's why it's far more comfortable to breathe through your nose than your mouth. When you breathe through your mouth, you're only humidifying 50%. So it's a lot more uncomfortable to breathe through your mouth. That's like when you're in the snow and you're skiing, like it's better to breathe through your nose than your mouth because it's almost like it's too cold. But nasal breathing, like breathing well through your nose, helps with memory, helps with sleep, helps with exercise tolerance, sex life, everything.
Well, you're selling a lot of people right now.
Exactly.
So do you breathe good?
I breathe okay. I do have a deviated septum. I have allergies. I do nasal sprays. And my nose, I hate to admit it, is starting to droop a little bit. And I had my nose broken by someone in college by a punch. And so
can you like do your own nose?
You can't do your own nose. I wish I could, but you can't. You just can't do it.
Can you do your own Botox?
So some people do their own Botox. I don't do my own Botox. I have an amazing nurse that takes care of my Botox.
That you trained?
That I trained. Yes. She's like one of my disciples. She's like, like your people, like part of your academy.
Yeah.
She's like one of my top capos.
So let me ask you something. Like, what happens? Like, when a girl has like humongous boobs, and then she goes and I want bigger ones. And,
right.
And it's like you're kind of like, you know what? It's not gonna look at maybe get a NAS done or something else.
Right. Right.
And then maybe not time for your boobs. They're pretty big as is.
Right.
When somebody comes to you and they're like, I want my lips bigger, and then they're already big, or they ask you for something just outrageous that does not make sense. Have you ever had somebody like that?
I do. So I say no every week. I say no to people that want surgery. I say no to people that want injections. And luckily, like I put out there like what I am, who I am, and the kind of clients and patients that I deal with. So I don't get a lot of people coming like that because they know I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
And so they go and go on Groupon and to look at a clinic that will do it for, half the cost, and they don't give a shit about what they look like. They just give them the product.
Because some people look really scary when they get stuff done.
So you can knock on enough doors and someone will do it for you. In LA, someone will do it for you, no matter what you want. I had a patient who I was helping with her scars. She wanted like the world's thinnest waist. So she had like ribs removed. I mean, the guy like rotisserie her. It was an incision from here to here all the way around. It's like cutting your entire body. And it was done like, I don't know where. And the doctor, this is like, she traveled for her surgery. The back opened up. You could see like her muscle, her ribs. Anyways, that's kind of gruesome. But I took care of her. I took care of her scars, her wounds. But the point of all that is that people are extreme. Some people are extreme, but it's a minority. And unfortunately, that gives a bad name to plastic surgery. Because you see these extremes, or you see like celebrities that have like overdone whatever, and it makes people feel like that's what plastic surgery is all about. Yeah. It's about the extreme. It's about looking, like this or like that, but that's not what it's about. It's mainly about people like you and me, people that are at the top of our game, top of our field, want to look better, feel better, and put our best face to the world.
Yeah. What is your number one request? Like top?
Surgery wise, the nose. So that's surgery. Non-surgically, it's fillers. So fillers, people love fillers because it's instant gratification.
What are the top 3 places that you place those fillers?
Cheeks. So under eyes. So I've actually developed techniques for under eyes over the last decade.
I remember you told me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, hey, what's the technique? And you're like, oh, that's my secret signature.
That's right.
Because then I know there's a lot of, do you have competitors that are watching you? Or?
So I actually don't believe in competition. In the aesthetic market, and maybe it's the same in the mortgage field, the pie is unlimited. So if you do good work and people like you, there's no such thing as competition. So I do not believe in competition.
So everybody goes to you. That's why.
Well, that's why I'm booked out for months.
Yeah.
Which is great. It's fantastic. It's an honor and it's a privilege. But I still am always learning and I'm always improving the process. What I do now is so different than what I did 10 years ago, and I'm sure what I do 10 years from now will be very different than what I do now. It's an always a learning process because it can always be better. Yeah. Always.
And by the way, what I want to do to people watching this, when it airs maybe in a couple of days or next week, anybody that goes to your office or that, because you're also, I think, I'm not sure if this is right, but I think you are selective with your clients, right? Because you're super booked, so you can't just take anybody.
Right.
So what I wanted to do, I don't know if it's okay with you, if anybody that from the podcast, they want to go visit you or get something done, like I want to take care of like at least 15% of their bill.
That's amazing. That's really amazing. And so for surgeries, we pre-screen. So like, for example, if you've had your nose done, you wanted to get it done again, just to not waste your time. And so, and I don't want to waste your time and I don't want you to waste mine. We have you send in your pictures, different views. We have you send like your story, what it is that you're trying to achieve. And I look at it and I'm like, you know what? I'm the doctor for you or I'm not. So
you're that of a badass.
I pre-screen. And so, because it's a win-win, because I don't need to do surgeries. I love doing them. I happen to be really good at them. I love doing it, and it's fantastic. But thankfully, I don't need to book a surgery because I need the money. Yeah. I do it because I love it, because it makes me feel really good to help people with their goals. But I'm at this point in my career, I'm able to select clients, because people come to my office, they think that they're interviewing me, and they are, because they're seeing other doctors too. But I'm interviewing you just as much as you're interviewing me.
Yeah. No, well, you know what? You're the best at what you do. And one thing that I do is, and people watching this know, is I always want to go to the best. So when I want a tax guy, I want to hire the best tax guy.
Right.
When I want to get the best business mentorship, I want the best business mentorship. Right. I want the best marketing. I want the best fitness coach, best nutritionist. I want the best. If I'm gonna let somebody touch my face and inject stuff, not only in me but also my wife, right, I want the best. Right. So that's why I did it. It took me like a while to find somebody like you, actually, because there's nobody like you. So I know so many powerful people that you help. So you should be like that, because you're the best. Like, it's like Jordan. Jordan didn't just talk to anybody, right? Right. Kobe Bryant either. Right. So what you give is you give, you're number one. You give the best. You do the best work. So that has a price.
It does, but luckily, I'm not so like overpriced or outpriced. I'm not astronomically priced, because I'm running a business, and yeah. I want clients, and I want to continue to do what I'm doing. So I don't just serve the elite. I don't just serve the famous. I don't serve, you're one of my many public figures, but I also take care of people that don't have a lot of money, and I take care of people that have no money. I actually do pro bono work. And I do things like, I have the luxury of being on the media. So I go on the doctors a lot, and I showcase my procedures. Whenever I do that, I have a whole list of people that have agreed to go on media and say, look, if you go on television and we can do this for you, then I'll do your procedures at no cost. And so it's like, I do that so I can help people. I've done pro bono work. I helped a young girl. We did it on Univision. She was bullied about her nose her whole life. The sweetest girl, beautiful girl, yeah, but had a big droopy nose. And I took care of her nose. And, for me, that was like very, very empowering. And yes, of course, like we got the media exposure, but, I was able to help this person, help this, individual. So that to me is still, I haven't lost that. And I will never lose that in terms of helping each person. And that's why, like you said, you come to my office, I will tell you very honestly what I think would help you both aesthetically and in your life, whether we're talking about your nose or your face or your neck or whatever. Yeah,
because I think when people go to your office, like what I do is I just tell you like, hey, check me out and tell me what I need, whatever you, and then your team comes in, right? And they're like, hey, so what would you like done? And I'm like, whatever he okays. Yeah. And they're like, okay, and then they just go back to you, and you just say, oh, he needs this and this, and you never try to like
upsell.
Yeah, never. You actually downsell.
I downsell.
So you always tell me like, you don't need this, just don't do that.
That's
just
right.
do this, this,
That's
and this.
Right.
Well, you could do this in 6 months.
Yeah.
But not right now. You don't need it, and not only that, man. I could. There's so many other things that I could share about you, but I'm not here to like convince everybody to use Dr. Karimi, because, like I said, like he said, he has enough clients, and he's kind of overbooked with so many clients and a lot of important clients. But I like the way you're so honest and how you treat your clients, and you tell them exactly what they need, and you tell them you don't need this, you need this, but there's something like really popular right now. Before I talk about the jaw thing, because I think the jaw thing is really good for men. It makes men look more handsome.
Yes.
But there's something like a threading thing, where it kind of like, so you don't have to get facelifts anymore. Now you could get like a thread that kind of pulls your face up. Is that the way to explain it?
That's the way to explain it. So 6 years ago, I actually co-founded the first company to do thread lifts in the United States. And threading was really popular in like Korea, in Asia, in a lot of different countries. And what threading is like, it's a suture, it's a stitch that goes under the skin. It can lift the cheeks. It can lift, hey, Sil. How's it going? It can lift the cheeks. It can lift the lower third. It can just tighten everything right away with a dissolvable stitch material. And it's at first people were like, oh my gosh, like they were kind of freaked out about it. Like, it's a thread. If you look at like the videos on social media, it looks a little crazy. But what we've come to, like, especially with fillers, is that people are going to all these clinics that we talked about that don't necessarily have an artistic eye, and they just pump fillers in the faces, and you get what's called filler face. We've all seen filler face. You're like, oh, where did you go? Like, why do you have so much? Why are you so puffy under your eyes? Why are your lips so big? Why are your cheeks so big? So threads actually prevent that because they're actually lifting your cheek up, bringing your jowl up. So that was and actually that was a big risk for me, Albert, because I'm a surgeon. So for me to be talking about threads, like my peers, my colleagues were like, why is he talking about these bullshit threads?
Yeah.
Because they're not surgery. They are basically an injectable to lift things up. But I helped develop the best quality threads. They're now made in the US. They were made in Korea before. Not that there's anything wrong with them, but we have a lot more oversight on the manufacturing process here in the US. And they have become incredibly popular because people can get like the snatched jawline, the cheeks lifted, their eyebrows elevated, all in the office without surgery.
That's impressive. So, so is this something that's like more expensive because it's not surgery, or?
It's more expensive than Botox. So thread lift can cost you anywhere from $1,500 to like $3,500, but it lasts a year to year and a half, and so
it's not permanent like surgery.
It's not permanent. No, it only lasts about a year to a year and a half because the threads actually dissolve. But the cool thing is that as the threads dissolve, the skin makes collagen on where the threads are. And so you get this like double benefit of skin improvement too. So they're super popular. Yeah. Actually, Eva Mendes recently posted on her social doing some threads under her chin, and her injector was one of my students a couple months ago at a cadaver lab. Yeah,
you're training the whole all these like people out there that are supposed to be good. You're the daddy.
That's right. Yeah, they call me the Godfather.
So let's talk. Now that I see my wife and
yes.
And I also have a few pregnant lady friends.
Yes.
If you're pregnant, can you get Botox?
No.
Or can you do anything?
Nope.
How long do you have to wait, or what's the whole rule?
Till you're done breastfeeding.
So still can't get anything right now.
No. So here's the thing.
What if she stops breastfeeding today?
Okay, so this is a really good conversation to have.
Or freeze milk.
Right. Pump and dump, as they call it. Yeah. Right. You pump and you dump the breast milk. So pregnant women cannot get any injections done. Okay, it's totally taboo. That being said, remember Botox has been around for 30 years. It's the most studied drug on the planet. There's been over 3,000 studies. There have been tens, if not hundreds of thousands of women that have been pregnant, not knowing that they were pregnant, that had gotten Botox. There's never been any harm shown to a fetus. Okay? So the chance of a Botox causing a problem is almost zero. But nobody's going to do it, especially in the United States, for liability. Because God forbid.
Mexico does it, right?
I don't know, actually. I doubt it. Honestly, I doubt it. Mexico is pretty up there in terms of like legit, doctors and clinics. Because if there is an issue with the baby, then you're gonna say, "Oh my God, I got Botox injections. Maybe that caused that, right?" Mm-hmm. So you got to just cross that off the list. Now let's talk about breastfeeding. Okay, you've had the baby, you're breastfeeding. So Botox, when it's injected, it shows up in your bloodstream for like a few seconds, and then after that, it doesn't show up in your bloodstream. Can it be detected in breast milk? It depends on the concentration of Botox that you're getting injected. And it also depends on if your injector injects it into a vessel or versus in the muscle. So anyways, without getting too technical, most people don't inject breastfeeding women. Now, let's talk about my wife. My wife had suffered from no Botox because she was carrying our child after I had been taking care of her since I told you she was 21. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, all the wrinkles come back. She's like, it's terrible. I feel really bad because she's carrying my child. She's all, pregnant and miserable and this and that. And I'm just like getting fit, best shape of my life, And then she's like, honey, I need Botox. And I'm like, but you're breastfeeding our child. She's like, show me the science that it's not safe during breastfeeding. I'm just like, So I look it up. And I search everything, and we come to an agreement that okay, if she pumps and dumps, then I'll do her Botox, which I did. But would I do it for my clients? Probably not, because we are in a litigious society.
Yeah.
And so I am convinced that Botox while breastfeeding would not cause any issue to, the woman or to her child. But because we live in a sue happy society, I don't do it.
Yeah.
Which is sad.
Yeah. So in reality, like it's kind of like having a glass of champagne and
exactly.
And breastfeeding.
That's right. That's right. Or a glass of wine in your third trimester or after while you're breastfeeding.
But the difference is that there's a lot of regulations that could.
That's right. There's a lot of regulations, and if I'm just injecting breastfeeding women all the time with Botox, like it's not going to go over very well.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. And then one quick thing before we wrap it up.
Yep.
The chin.
Yes.
So I'm gonna talk about like so you do maybe you could explain it better than me, but you do 3 things. You do 3 things to me, and I don't know how many you do to Sil. I think Sil requires a bit more things, right?
No.
We'll get
not
to
at all.
However, like for me, I know you do Botox.
Yes.
Like simple Botox,
Yep.
which is nothing crazy.
Right.
And then I know you do the filler.
Yep.
And you do a filler on my cheek, and then which also helps the under eye.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the most impressed and your greatest idea for me was the jaw.
Yes.
So I think you kind of just did Botox and the little filler right here,
Yep.
just to enhance my face, and then you said, what will probably look good? Maybe just a little chin here.
Yeah.
And I seen you done it on other guys too.
Yeah.
And then those guys are the ones that all the girls are like, oh, that guy's hot.
Right.
So how important is the jaw for a guy? And then also what happens as you age? Do you lose your jaw, or does your fat in your face go away? And then when you work out a lot, that also makes you look weird, right? So like maybe you could explain that better to me.
So chins are in. That's the bottom line. Whether you're a girl or a boy, chins are phenomenal, because the chin is like the central part of your face. It really will kind of position everything. For a woman, chins are great because if they have a little bit of sag here or a little weakness here, it looks amazing. It gives them that V that everybody loves. It's youthful, it's sexy, it's amazing.
Yeah.
In guys, and what we did with you is that you didn't have a weak chin, but your chin, like we added a little bit to it to kind of, just give it a little bit more definition. We actually did your jawline as well, the entire jawline and chin. And that is fantastic because it's all about recreating that facial skeleton.
Yeah.
And so by doing that, we really just kind of matched everything else. And when I saw your face, I saw a great kind of cheek, forehead, everything, and then your chin wasn't weak, but I saw the opportunity to add a little bit there. And so chins, jawlines, and a lot of us guys will wear beards to highlight our jawlines, right? And so, when I was 15 pounds heavier than I am now, like I
saw lost a lot of weight, huh?
I lost some weight.
Yeah. That's why you look different.
Yeah.
Too, yeah.
I saw myself on TV for the first time, and I was just like, oh my God. I looked like Jabba the Hutt. I was like, this is so fucked up, because I was clean shaven, and there was like, and then, there was no, and the camera, as you know this well, adds 10 pounds. I used to think that was a bullshit thing that like my celebrity clients would say.
You don't look like 10 pounds heavier.
And it really does. So I grew a beard. And then the beard actually helped me highlight my chin and jawline, but fillers do the same thing. And of course, I lost some weight. I got in shape, ate better, drank less tequila, and that really not.
Well,
not
tequila,
really.
tequila's
actually,
not
yeah, no. Actually, tequila is the most healthy alcohol.
Yeah.
Of all the alcohols, because it's from agave. But anyways, so the point is that chins are such an amazing opportunity for both men and women. And it is one of my favorite areas to do. And you can do it with literally no downtime.
That makes you look so much better, huh?
So much better, because let's say you have a little fat on your chin. So a lot of people hate their double chins.
Yeah.
You don't have to do surgery or liposuction or Kybella or whatever. You can get chin filler and it will lift it up. It will take care of it. So that's the power of the chin. And people that have weak chins almost always have double chins, right? That's what we call it, which is really fat under the chin. Because look, if I do this versus this, that's why we take pictures from up, right?
Yeah.
Because it highlights our chin.
Well, I also
and
think
our
a guy that doesn't have a chin,
yeah,
like a strong jaw,
yeah,
looks weaker.
It does look weaker. There's very few men on camera that have weak chins. The only super prominent one who I love is Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan has no chin. But if you look in his movies, he always has a little puff of beard or something to cover it up. And there's very few...
Why don't you hit him up and just fix it?
I am going to hit him up. I'm going to hit up his agent. And be like, yo, Michael B., I could take care of you, bro.
Because he would look better, right?
He would look better. He would look better, and he wouldn't have to wear his little beard.
You think Cristiano did something with his chin?
Cristiano with his chin? I'm not sure about his chin. He definitely took care of his nose, his teeth, a lot of things, his skin. And so he may have done his chin. But if you look at, the most attractive men or powerful men.
Yeah, like whatever, Fabio? He has a big chin.
Fabio has a big-ass chin. His chin is like crazy big. And so, chins and jawlines.
Is that natural
critical.
chin, or is that how? Just
that's a natural chin. Yeah, that guy is just.
So everybody just wants to look like Fabio.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, so chins and jawlines, like a lot of people don't think about that, but it is absolutely like a great way. Like some people come and they have like a little jowl. Sometimes I'll just do their chin and the jowl is gone.
Wow. Yeah, because I think like I have a short neck, so Sil's always like saying that my neck's not that long.
Mm-hmm.
So like when I look down a little bit, you can see like a little bit of the fat right here, which is not a lot, but I think it's because my neck is so short that some people have long necks.
Right.
Like Sil has like a really long neck.
Mm-hmm.
So she hides but so when you did the whole chin thing, I think that pulled it up, right?
Definitely.
So that made a difference.
Absolutely.
So the thing that I like about you, that whoever's watching this is like when they come to you, you know the magic trick. You're like, okay, you know what? We could skip this if we do this, and then you just tell people like what to do, and you're like a engineer for the face.
Right.
So before we end this, Dr. Karimi, first of all, I just thank you for being in this podcast with me.
Thanks,
and I'm glad it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
All my audience, like I said, I forget about 15%. I'll cover 25% for the first 5 people that call you.
Wow.
And now, having said that, to end this, is there anything that, like, what for people that are watching this might be scared because they're like, yeah, I want to do it,
right.
Because they want to be famous, they want to get more attention, maybe they want to get that boyfriend, maybe they want to get laid, whatever.
Right.
So these people that are watching this and they're like all in, they have the money, the commitment, they're gonna send you the pictures and see if you take him. These people, maybe they're scared of pain.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what are there any like certain things you do to minimize the pain and the mistakes and things like that?
So to minimize pain, we do a lot. We do numbing cream. We give them medical grade CBD. And if somebody's not driving and they're really like are doing a lot of stuff like threads or fillers to their chin, I actually can dispense medication, like relaxing medication, but you just can't drive on that. But if somebody is driving and they want to be with it to drive, you can actually do the nitrous gas during your procedure to really take the edge off. But between my techniques and the numbing cream and the ice, vast majority, 90 to 95% of my patients don't need anything additional to that. And in fact, they're pleasantly surprised on how little it hurts during the procedure, and there's no pain afterwards either, which is really nice, even if you're doing something like more sensitive like the lips. Yeah.
And then one last thing, like if a UFC fighter comes to you, you know how they have those what do they call them?
Cauliflower ears.
Cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
Can you fix those things?
I can.
Yeah.
I have a lot of UFC fighter patients that I fix their noses, but I've also fixed cauliflower ear. So cauliflower ear is better to like prevent rather than try to fix, but it can be fixed.
Got it. So pretty much anything in the face you could fix.
Anything in the face, I got you.
And to end this, I know I've been saying this for a while, but this, I can't forget this thing. Everybody on Instagram uses filters. Not everybody, but like 99%. Like I don't use filters.
Right.
But most people need filters. I don't know if they need them, but maybe they do. But people are so like they can't post anything if they don't have a filter.
Right.
Like, can you make people look like the filter so that they just stop using the filter?
So filters are very interesting, Albert, that you mentioned that, because
like the Instagram filter.
Yeah.
Before it was Snapchat, I think.
Yeah, Snapchat and now Instagram. So
it kills me when my wife's like using filters. I'm like, dude, I don't need filters.
But the filter is like what I like to understand about filters. So is like, what is it about the filter that they like? Is it slimming? Is it defining their nose? Is it improving their skin? So to me, it's more of like a communication tool rather than like a destination, right? And a lot of times I can get you looking a lot like your Facetune or like your filter, but I'm not going to sit there and put your filter on like my surgery table.
Do clients ever send you like pictures of filters and tell you I want to look like this?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I get the craziest messages ever. But the filter to me is a communication tool. And I can be like, you're out of your mind. You're never going to look like that. Or I understand what you're saying. I see where you want to go. This is what I can do for you. And so to me, it is important to see those filters. I don't discount them. I don't poo-poo them. I like to see what it is that people like about them. And sometimes, a lot of times, they don't even know what it is they like about them. But my training and my background helps me train them. Like, okay, you want a slimmer jaw. You want more chin. You want a slimmer nose. You want more cheeks, or you want to look less tired, or you want your skin improved. So we talk about lasers or whatever. So it is actually important to communicate with my clients.
Yeah, like for example, I see like Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
And I see him like he's always on TV.
Yeah.
And I know he puts makeup on. He does a lot of things. But this guy's like 52.
Yeah. Well, Mario Lopez looks great in person. I've met him many times. And, again, there's something to do with genetics. But a lot of times, and not Mario, but a lot of times you'll see people in real life, and you have as well.
Yeah.
And they don't look nearly as good in real life when they don't have the makeup, when they don't have anything else. But if you truly want to look good without makeup and without, filters, you can start early, do small things, preventative, little Botox, little fillers, lasers, take care of yourself, good health, don't smoke, all that good stuff. And you can look good for a long time, like Carrie.
And just drink tequila.
And just drink tequila.
Tequila is good, right?
Tequila is great.
Yeah. So I think the biggest takeaway that I got from here, and maybe you could correct me if I'm wrong, is that like Botox is not bad for you.
Botox is not bad for you.
And you need to start early.
You need to start early, and it is extremely safe. And if you start early, you will save yourself thousands, if not tens of thousands of dollars on more invasive procedures.
Got it. Well, brother, thank you so much, man. And what I want to do is for you to share with my audience, like where can they follow you?
Yes.
How can they get in touch with you? And how can they get a hold of the best face doctor, nose expert, and you make people look beautiful.
Thank you. So drkian.com, drkian.com. My Instagram, Dr. Kian. Those are the two best ways to get a hold of me. You can see thousands of before and afters. You can even, message me. It is my team that will handle your request because I have, a life and I got to, take care of that. So, but they're really, really great at handling all your messages and requests. So don't hesitate to reach out. And
if you guys say you're Albert's friend, he'll give you some VIP service. Well, thank you, brother. So thank you guys. Comment below if we miss anything. If you guys want to ask him more questions, comment below, and then we'll take care of them later. Thank you.
Take care.